bad guys, like the head guy. And while the bad guy couldn't win, neither could she. And so what she did is she was about to win, so he impregnated her with him. Like, when I mean that, I mean that, like, he died and he went and, like, she was pregnant for some reason.
Right.
And he, like, possessed the soul of Medivh. And so Medivh, in fact, had been possessed his whole life. That's why he was...
Oh, it's just
and part of why he did what he did. Yeah.
All right, that question was nice and easy. So next would be Wanted Chieftain Mumkai.
Hold on a second here. Right, there it is. I'm still looking for those silly... I got one more.
What, mushrooms? Oh, I need a ton, but they're further south. They're actually around areas, so we'll pick them up.
So I was a little disappointed they didn't really go into that with Medivh.
I don't think they may just not have had time. So...
that's true too, and much to be honest, I came to this realization later. Much like the Batman versus Superman, this was a world-building event where they just shoved information at you and said, and basically were like, "We'll explain it later. Just swallow." Yeah. You know,
it's like, you'll figure it out eventually. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Alright, and do we need the servants? We don't need the servants. We do, however, need Marshlight Bleeders. Those are the wasps, I think.
Okay. Those are beasts, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good, I'm tracking. There's one over here.
Oh, hang on, don't kill before I get there. Okay. Yep, we are the wasps. Boom! Oh, excuse me. I have to say, it was didn't really bother me, but it was a little, like, made me a little squeamish when they showed the powering the dark portal and basically like ripping the souls out of all.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my, look at that.
I was like,
I was just like,
yeah, I'm like,
okay, that was pretty. But I also enjoyed it though when they had Gul'dan sitting there talking to like the wolf guy, and he just kind of was slowly drawing power out of that human that was sitting there, like he was just like some sort of snack.
Pretty much, like, oh, I'm just gonna slow.
He's like, I'm gonna snack on this guy. I was just like, I while it was horrible, I enjoyed it. I was just like, look at that. That is really cool.
Well, it also does a good job of showing just how little Gul'dan cares about life. Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least human life in general.
Well, but it showed he obviously didn't really care too much about orc life either. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was cool. Pretty cool. All in all, it was a good movie, and I liked it. It was very Warcrafty. You know, the shoulders, the swords were overly big.
Yeah, like you can almost see like the characters picking up. We're like, wow, that's a little. Whew.
Yeah.
I liked that they made a lot of the orcs like personable. Like you kind of liked the orcs, like they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't. I mean, it's not like with. They are not the Lord of the Rings orcs where they're like made to just fight things. Fighting was just kind of their culture.
I kind of look at them as kind of like Klingons.
A little bit, frankly. Where it's just like, they actually said it like, war doesn't have to solve everything, and he's like, for an orc, war solves everything. You know, it's like it was an honor thing. You know, it's like we fight to honor, but we're not gonna. But they fight in a very specific way. It's not like. Step back, generally speaking, it's not backstabby. Right. It's just like I'm going to punch you in the face, and you're going to punch me back, and whoever drops first is the winner.
Yep.
You know,
which again I thought was nice because it's something that kind of gets lost even in World of Warcraft is the orcs are usually portrayed as violent and bloodthirsty.
I don't know. Some of them are, but then so are the humans in some cases.
That is true.
You know, I mean, yeah, half the quests are, hey, these guys here, we want them to be removed. Could you go do that? But then the humans do the same thing. So
now we just need,
okay, so I'm done.
So now we just need the mushrooms, and then we've got a bunch of turning in to do.
All right. All right. So we're heading back.
So you said you need what? One mushroom? I need 5, but hopefully it won't take too long to get those around. Since you won't be picking any after you get your 1.
But I saw it. I'm just like, okay, I'm ready for more. I wonder where they'll go with it.
Yeah, well, and, are they going to start doing like the Burning Crusade? Are they going to do like?
Yeah, who knows? You know, that's.
Well, I mean, it's also going to depend on honestly, how much money does it make? I mean, it's doing
from what I understand, it's doing
Well,
well.
it's doing
so.
meh in the U.S., but it's doing amazing in China. So
Yeah.
I would imagine that's going to help a lot. So, and really, I mean, its budget was big, but it wasn't like disgustingly big. So
All right. So I got all mine.
I need 2 more, which I can see.
I don't know. I think it's not like Marvel movie level,
No.
but but really, I mean, the movie does have at least a 5 to 10 million fan base right off the bat, which a lot of movies out there would kill for. You know, so it's just like those are we'll go on the high end. That's 10 million people. You can probably guarantee we'll see it at some time, if you know, and they'll drag their own friends, and so it's like another couple million after that.
No, I agree. I think it's.
I really had the feeling with the movie where it was very much like Lord of the Rings, where it's like it's just this big adventure thing, and it's gonna like. And which I really liked. You know, everything's very grand. Everything's very. Which one do I want here? You. Oh, I can't do that. And so I enjoyed that. You know, just like, okay, so this is going to be like Lord of the Rings, and we'll see where that goes. What I find interesting is, oh man, weapons I can't use. Is it like it's really going to be like the characters, unless it's like basically all the characters are going to change in the next movie.
Yeah.
It's just like what happened to all these other people. It's like, well, they died of old age. You know, it's 30 years later.
Yeah, it's like we've been there, done that. Like we're moving on now. Like, what do you mean moving on?
Yeah.
It's really got figured out this other crap. Like, well.
Yeah, basically. I thought that was kind of funny.
No, I'm happy that I saw it. I don't know if I'll go see it again, but I might, like rent it when it comes out on video or something like that.
Yeah.
But I am glad that I did finally see it.
I definitely don't grade it on how many times I will go see the movie, because that really depends on a lot of other factors for me. But it was
yeah. So we have one quest to turn in over at Swamp Rat Post.
All right, I gotta go get this guy first.
Okay.
1 second.
I'm just gonna head. So basically, my plan is to just head over there, grab that, and then just fly right back. So we can just keep talking about the movie and stuff while we do that. Whoa! There it is. Swamp Rat Post.
Turn you in. Head. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. I there was way more magey stuff than I thought there was going to be. But
there's a
when
ton
you have
of
two of the most popular, no, not most popular, but two of the.
So you're flying over to
Swamp Rat Post.
The Nothing Says Levin Like a Big
Correct.
Stinger.
Yep, which is a very odd name for a quest. But yeah, just like.
Oh, there was a lot. It was like that's probably one of the bigger things that kind of differentiated between like the
movie in the game.
Poopy. The new move. No, Lord of the Rings was that how much like blatant,
right.
magic.
Well, I mean, I think Lord of the Rings is kind of like Game of Thrones in that it's the kind of like the high fantasy where, it's a quote unquote magical world, but it's not like Dungeons and Dragons. Whereas World of Warcraft in general is basically Dungeons and Dragons. So you're going to see things like, fantastical beasts. You're going to see magic everywhere. You're going to see
people riding hippogriffs. I really like that part, by the way, when the hippogriff was just ripping apart the orcs. I felt like, oh.
Yep. I like the hippogriff because they made it look realistic enough, like with the way it was acting and its interaction.
Yeah, and what I found, what I didn't like though, was that it had him doing this dive-in rescue thing when everything was over.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that seems ill-timed.
Yeah, like everyone.
Yes, okay, he's gonna go get the body. Okay, I understand that, but I'm like, I don't know. It seemed like it was almost forced in.
Well, he had to be there because he had to find out that. Basically, he had to recover the body because that's how he would find out that Corona killed him.
Yeah. Story-wise, I understand it, but the act of it, like, dun dun, here I come. I'm just like, that's.
Yeah, I would have liked it a bit more if he had landed earlier and they were all in the middle of fighting and he turned around and saw Corona stab the king, but not actually hear the conversation between the two of them. Yeah. So.
I thought that was a pretty weird idea on the king's part.
Well, he realized that.
It makes. Yeah, I see that, but I'm just like.
Yeah. It's not exactly the.
It was a little, I don't want to say far-fetched, but it was a little stretchy for me.
Right. Well, it was, it's. I'm wondering if that's. I'm not sure if that's how it went in the game or not. To be honest, I haven't played the original Warcraft game, and gosh, 20 years, or I don't know.
At
It's been a long
least.
time since we
Been
played
a long
that.
time since that's been out. Yeah.
So I just
I spent more time in Warcraft 2
yeah, I think
than I
that's
did
probably right.
Warcraft.
I don't know if it was Warcraft or Warcraft 2, but I just remember that a hotkey full of dragons could be easily taken out by a hotkey full of archers.
That was 2. That's Warcraft 2.
I was like, what the? What? How is that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Fortunately, I was the one with the archers, not the one with the dragons.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was, I mean, well, that was, I would say, yeah, those three Warcrafts are probably one of our first experiences with the real-time strategy genre, because those came out before StarCraft. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. It'd be a close tie with me between that and Age of Empire. No, yes. Because the first Age of Empire was a close one, but I'm pretty sure that Warcraft was first for me.
Right. Yeah, Warcraft. I think Warcraft was not really I'm trying to see. I'm just trying to look up stuff and see.
All right. So you went back to the house, the place.
So Warcraft, Orcs and Humans was released. So far back, the MS DOS version was released in 1994, and the Mac version came in '96.
MS
MS
DOS.
DOS.
Holy gosh. Okay, so DOS. How do you explain that? MS DOS was basically what computers ran on, or what you interfaced with before Windows, and there was no pictures. It was all typing in names of commands, like execute this program, and it would start up
and like go to this folder, things like that. Well,
right, exactly.
The thing is like it's still the way things are done. It's just Windows is a GUI, a graphic
right.
user interface.
Right, a graphic interface, right. And you can see DOS when you go to MS.
Or you just go to the command
line.
To the start menu and put in a command prompt, it'll bring up
right. Right, that's what, but that's all.
That's what we used to use to access our programs.
Yeah, yeah. It was wow. I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, that was that old.
I guess it would make sense. Did you look up when Age of Empire for the first one came out?
I want to check to see when the first StarCraft came out.
First StarCraft.
StarCraft debuted at E3 in '96 and used a modified Warcraft 2 game engine, so it came out after.
That's what. That sounds about right. Yeah.
And was the other one you said, Age of Empires? Yeah, I missed that game. That was a fun game where you could, if you did it right, you could have a barbarian running around while your robots.
No, that's Empire Earth.
Oh.
That was a different one. Age of Empires was just a straight
97.
up. No, okay, well, so it's a good deal or older then. All right. So Warcraft, the first one, was very much the first. I don't know if I played it in '94 though.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, back in '94, we were in high school and we were pretty big into computer gaming. That was like Doom, Duke Nukem, Doom 2.
Jesus, we were 15 in '94. Oh,
yeah, don't see things like that. You should know better.
I apologize. I'm working with a bunch of 20-year-olds at work, and I'm just feeling old.
That's okay. Yeah, I shouldn't say the.
Okay, where are we going now?
Oh, we're feeling old. Let's head south for the sharpest blades, which is 10 Marsfang slicer blades. These are
Hold on
they're running around everywhere. Yeah. There's I shouldn't call him a kid because he's not, but the kid who sits across from me at work, his birthday is on Saturday and he turns 27.
Yeah, there's a girl at work who she works everywhere, but I mean she's an intern. She turns 21 at the end of July. I'm just like, ugh.
I thought that was bad.
What makes it worse is that she talks about things I completely understand, not just because it's not just because hey, she's talking about something it's like it's not like magic or something, but more like, hey, you're talking about video games that I play all the time,
right.
And she's just like, and she plays the same thing, so I'm just like, fuck me, sorry for the swearing, but I'm just like, so I basically missed the boat with like talking to girls about video games by like 20 years.
Yeah, well,
I'm just like,
yeah, that's the case for.
Now on the other side of it, if we hadn't been through if we hadn't laid the groundwork, people like her wouldn't exist.
Well,
but, and she's Spanish.
Does she have a little bit of an accent?
No, actually, she doesn't. Her mom is her mom is English or American
Okay.
or something, and so she grew up speaking both languages like
Oh, okay.
correctly. So she has no accent.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was actually kind of like when she said she was from Spain. I'm just like, really? I'm like, oh, all right.
Like, why is that a surprise? Because you don't sound like someone who comes from Spain.
Yeah, you know, you're not even. But when you hear her speak Spanish, she speaks very fast, and it's just like, oh yeah, there she goes.
Yeah, from what I can gather, Spanish is a quick language. It's not.
Well, so it's French.
Yeah,
really.
it's not meant to be spoken
Yeah.
slowly. It's you have.
No.
I think they almost like it's almost like they truncate certain words and sayings to make them easier to faster to say.
I have not even
Yeah.
a clue. Maybe I can't even tell you no.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm just like and we have another intern who's 20, and they talk games and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I can understand it. Where a lot of the other guys that I work with, just kind of look at her blankly because they're like in their 40s and just like, I don't know what that means. I'm just like, I do.
Right. It was like right here.
And like one of them, yeah, exactly. Like one of them will come over and like because I have my phone running videos and stuff as I work, and one of them will come over and they'll look at what I'm watching and they go, "Hey, you watching Phineas and Ferb?" I'm just like, "Yep." And they're just like, "Cool."
Jeez.
Just like,
Yeah, you totally,
I'm hip for a 20-year-old apparently.
it only took 37 years.
Exactly. I'm just like,
Like,
well,
what the hell?
well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, it happens to the best of us.
But it's just like, it's funny. It's like I'm feeling old, but then there's this guy who's 27, and they work closer together because I work on higher end
Yep.
stuff, and he tends to work where she does, and so they talk a lot. And she calls him old.
Wow.
Well, no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. What happens is that she invites him over to play games and board games and stuff, which I'm just like, awesome. She plays board games
Right.
too, and with her friends and boyfriends and stuff. And he's just like, I don't know. And I'm just like, I lean over and go, you don't want to feel like the old guy, do you? And he's like, no, I don't.
Oh, it's
So-
cute because it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, exactly. He's 27, and he's just like, I think he might be having a hard time admitting that. So,
Oh,
okay, I got all my
me
blades.
too. All right.
Hey, Lyndon's on.
No, David.
I don't know. I didn't want to call him an actual
Fair
name.
enough.
I wasn't sure what else to call him.
All right, so let's do a spirit ally, which is further down to the right.
Okie dokie. So gripe, complain, cute girls, I can talk
Cute
to.
girls
and,
half your age.
They're half my age. You know what? I'm not picky, but even though I'm just like,
Like, something about that gives you a little bit of the heebie-jeebies.
it doesn't actually. It's more like I get worried that I would, like, who would want to date someone who's 17 years older than they are? But then again, it happens. It's like, it's something that does happen. You just got to be fully aware of there is going to be a difference here. One, I would be the envy of all my friends.
Yes.
So what are we doing here?
We are killing
Just
this
killing
person,
guys?
and then we are dropping the totem.
Okay.
Like,
Probably have to be on.
oh, we won't be feeling the suit down here.
It's